Okay, hello everyone. So I have a lesson here from today, and it's kind of plays off Valentine's Day. Now, so I brought this book from Canada. It's called Love You Forever, and it's written by Robert Munsch, and he's a famous children's author over in Canada. Now, I really wanted to show this to the kids somehow, some way. And then I was thinking and I thought, oh hey, we can use this for Valentine's Day because I can talk about love and more so family love, like I love my family kind of thing. And it tied in really well with the theme of Valentine's Day. So yeah, this is what we ended up doing. Now, I realized, like I showed this to my teachers because I had no idea if the students would understand this grammar because it's very poetic English. And the teachers thought it was best if I changed the words to something more like easy for them to understand. And so that's basically what I did. It was quite an adventure getting this done. So, okay, so this is the outcome. This is what it looks like to give to the students. And what I had to do was I had to photocopy the book page by page to get the pictures, but I had to decrease the size by like 1,000,000% so that it was literally this big. And then what I did was I typed into a Word document the words, but I had to make them like font size of like 8 or 6 or something, so it was super tiny. And then that way, like these are glued on. So it's basically making photocopies and trying to like make it look presentable for the students because I wanted them to have a takeaway from the book, right? Anyways, so this is what the final thing looked like. So every student that I taught this to has this paper. Okay, so the first thing we would do is usually like a little warm-up game or something, but yeah, every class I did this with, it was different. Some classes we just dived right in. So anyways, that's what I'll do for this one. So the first thing I would do is I would talk about this book. I would say this is about family love, and this is a very famous book in Canada. Robert Munsch is a very famous author in Canada. So then I'd show them some of the pictures, and I'd show them like the complicated text. There's many words. So I changed this for you to have not many words. So anyways, I would hand this out to all the students. So every student has a copy of every page. And then I would direct their attention to the TV screen. So this is what would be on the TV. And I'd be like, okay, love you forever. So this is where the students are all quiet and they're listening. Now, there's two versions of this that I have. One is where we take the famous poem, I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living my baby you'll be. So in some classes, if they're very confident with English, I get them to practice this before we read this, or before I read this. And then whenever I get to this poem, I always read it with the students. So we would read this part together every time it shows up in the book. But for some of my classes, their English wasn't super confident, so I just read it and then the teacher would explain it slide by slide. So how I did it was I had a picture. So this is the first picture, and then I'd write the text. A mother is holding her new baby boy. And then while I'm reading this, I'm really gesturing like hardcore so the kids kind of understand. And for the words holding, and actually many other words that I wrote down, I actually have cards, like visual cards, for them to look at. So I made, see, holding, rock back and forth, said, grew. So these are all down the toilet. So these are all just like kind of helpful cues for students who need them. So anyways, I'd go through the story. A mother is holding her new baby boy. She rocked him back and forth and she said, I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living my baby you'll be. The baby boy grew. He is 2 years old. He runs around the house, he makes a big mess. He flushed his mother's watch down the toilet. The mother said, "This boy is driving me crazy." At night, the mother would go to the boy. She picked him up. She rocked him back and forth. She said, "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living my baby you'll be." So this part I would say together with the students if they were confident, or if the teacher was confident. The boy grew. He is 9 years old. He is bad. He missed dinner. He didn't take a bath, and he said bad words. The mother said, "I'll sell you to the zoo." At night, the mother would go to the boy. She picked him up, she rocked him back and forth, and she said, "I'll love you forever." So the poem. The boy grew. He is a teenager. He had strange friends, he wore strange clothes, and listened to strange music. The mother said, "You are a crazy boy." But at night, the mother would go to the boy. She picked him up, she rocked him back and forth, and she said the poem. The teenager grew. He is an adult. He moved to a new house. Sometimes at night, the mother drove to see her son. If her son was sleeping, she would go to his bed. She picked him up, she rocked him back and forth, and she said the poem. The mother grew. She is old now. One day, she called her son on the telephone. She said, "I am old and I am sick. Please come see me." Her son went to see her. She opened the door. She said, "I'll love you forever." She did not finish. She is too old and too sick. The son picked her up. He rocked her back and forth, and he said, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living my mommy you'll be." The son went home. He stood at the top of the stairs for a long time. He went into his baby's room. He is holding his new baby girl. He rocked her back and forth, and he said, the love poem, the end. So anyways, that's, of course I would like read it super duper duper slow with the students, so, and I'd make sure that they understand each like slide before moving on, or each sentence before moving on. But anyway, so after we read the whole story, I tell students, yeah, it's a very nice story. It's a lovely story. When I was a little girl, my mother read that story to me. And when I have a baby, I will read this story to it. And then I'd say, okay, so now we have an activity. This is the one that I did with students the most, and especially like special needs. It was easy to do this one. So this is Love Bingo. Love Bingo. So what I would do is I'd get students to write the vocabulary. Most of them are from the book, the I Love You Forever book. And they would have to write the words at random inside these boxes. So I give them a few minutes to do that. And then, this is what I would show them as an example. I'd say, okay, write the words in the box and you can mark it, okay? So at random. And then, okay, so once the students were done, instead of just saying the word, oh yeah, I have these random cards with all the words on them so that I can just like randomly choose. So it's like a true bingo, like true lottery. Anyway, so instead of just saying the word, I would say a sentence. So one word is baby. So I would say, "This baby is cute." And then the students would have to say what the word is. And usually they pick it up right away. They say, "Baby." And I'm like, good. So then they mark off baby. Say the next one is like. I'll say, "What do you like?" And then the students will be like. And then they can mark that one off. The next one is mother. "She is my mother." And then they'd be like, "Mother." And then they mark that, right? So anyways, as soon as a student gets a bingo or a group of students get a bingo, I come around with my handy dandy Canadian stamp, and then I just stamp them. So I only stamped first, second, and third place winners. And then I continued on for a little bit. But I realized today, like, if you keep going and say all of them, the students will all fill in every single square and they'll be like, "Oh, total bingo, total bingo." So make sure you stop partway and then like still go through the sentences, I think, is what I'm going to do next time. So yeah, I'm still going to read the sentence and then I'll have students try and figure out what the word is. So I'll do that. But anyways, so that's one activity. Oh, and this is like the biggest copy I can get, but I'd have this on the board so that like before we do the bingo, I'll get students to repeat after me all the words, and then we'll translate them into Japanese so they understand. Anyway, so that's the bingo, and then this one is karuta. So what I did was I basically copied all the pictures again, I cut them out, and then I colored only one part of the picture all different colors. That way it's easy to tell the difference between all of them. So for grade 3 or grade 9, the higher level English, I would say he flushed his mother's watch down the toilet. And then this picture here is the baby with the watch in the toilet. So then the students would have to grab for that card, and the first one who gets it gets to keep that, and that's the point. So for grade 3, I took sentences directly from the book, and then for grade 1, I had to change it. So, for example, she is holding the light blue baby boy. And then here, I colored the baby boy light blue. So then they'll hear that, and then they'll go and grab it, right? So that is karuta. And in case you're curious, this is what the karuta cards look like. It's literally just the images cut and drawn on, like the colors. So anyways, oh yeah, and then I have one for each group, because this would be like a group game. I suggest not going more than 4 people, one group. But 5 people, it's okay. It's just the rowdy classes that you're gonna want to make maybe smaller groups with. But anyways, yes, so that is the lesson I created for Valentine's Day, Love You Forever. I hope you enjoyed it. And, oh, one last thing. At the very beginning of class, I would write this on the board, and then I would just explain what's love and then what's poem. And then I'd say that this story has a love poem. Anyways, okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!